What's going on, everybody? Opinionated Idiot here. And I just literally got off my live stream and I came across an article that I have not seen yet. It's from people.com. And what this talks about in this article is Bryan Kohberger sliding into the DMs of one of the victims. Let's go over to the big screen and let's read through it. From People magazine says accused Idaho killer Bryan Kohberger repeatedly messaged one of the victims on Instagram, a source tells. Quote, he was persistent. An investigative source on the case tells People. So let's read through this here. It says 2 weeks before the slayings of the 4 University Idaho students last November, the man now accused of killing them sent a series of messages to one of the victims on Instagram. An investigator familiar with the case tells People. Wow, this is like breaking news. This is this is a new bit of information that I know that I haven't heard of. I haven't seen anybody talk about this yet. In late October, on the account that authorities believe belonged to Bryan Kohberger, sent a greeting to one of the female victims, a source says. When he didn't get a reply, he sent several more messages to her. Quote, he slid into one of the girl's DMs several times, but she didn't respond. The source tells People. Quote, basically, it was just him saying, hey, how are you? But he did it again and again. Madison, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan were all stabbed to death in an off-campus rental home in Moscow. And I'll get this right. I said Moscow this time, not Moscow. And that's because of my Boston accent. On November 13th, a masked intruder entered the home and killed the 4 students with a fixed blade knife. More than a month later, authorities arrested Kohberger, a 28-year-old graduate student and teaching assistant at Washington State University. He was charged with 4 counts of murder and 1 count of felony burglary. Kohberger was arrested at his parents' in Pennsylvania home on December 30th. He waived his extradition to Idaho, meaning he voluntarily agreed to return to the state and face the charges against him. He was transported back to Idaho on January 4th. Let me see through here if there's any more information. Okay, so let's keep reading here. It says, according to the probable cause affidavit obtained by People, one of the victims, and we know a lot of this, but I want to continue this article. Surviving roommate said she saw the killer. The roommate was described as, quote, a figure clad in black and a mask, end quote, who walked past her as the person left the crime scene. The affidavit also alleged that Kohberger was linked to the crime scene from DNA and cell phone pings. We know that. Authorities have remained tight-lipped about the alleged motive in the attack. They have not publicly discussed the relationship between Kohberger and the victims. And I've said this all along. If we don't hear any more information in this case, we're going outside the courtroom. We're going to find out in the courtroom. There is a lot of information, I believe, in this case that we don't know, that we haven't heard about, but we will hear about in trial. So it goes on to say, the relationship between Kohberger and the victims. Kohberger, now deleted Instagram account, which was viewed by People before it was removed, followed the accounts of Mogan, Gonsalves, and Knodel, but there was no public interaction. It's unclear why Kohberger didn't get a response to his messages, but authorities say that the victims may have missed them completely. Quote, she may have not seen them because they went into message requests, says the investigation source. Instagram users are not notified when they receive a message from someone. They do and not follow back, and messages go to a special folder. We're trying to determine how aware the victims were of his existence. There's no indication that he was frustrated with the lack of response, the source adds, but he definitely was persistent. And again, we know that Kohberger now is due for his next court preliminary hearing on June 26th. This is breaking news. If this is true, this is this is a connection now between Kohberger and the victims. So, what do you all think? Do you think that this source is reliable? Do you think now this is the connection between the three? Maybe now we're finding out. Maybe he was stalking the home. What do you all think? Leave your comments below. I would love to hear what you think. But this is breaking news. I didn't even know of this article. It was just presented to me, and it was actually released this afternoon at 1:40 p.m. So this is new information in the Idaho 4 murder case. Let me know what you think down below. I'd love to hear your comments. Thank you for sharing, and subscribing to my page. Please make sure to hit the bell notification down below so you get all notifications when I drop new videos or go live. We'll keep following this one. And like I said, and I always say, opinions are like assholes, and everybody's got one. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.